If you've ever been curious on how to start a YouTube channel and you think 2025 is your year, keep watching this video. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Christine. I'm a dancer and I love to travel the world and document it. Today I'm doing a bit of a different video that I've actually never done before, but I get a ton of questions on how do I start a YouTube channel, what do I need to get started, what camera do you use, how do you edit, how do I start making content. All of those questions will be answered in this video. I don't know about you guys, but I think 2025 is going to be the year to see people break out of their comfort zones and go after their goals and what they want to do. So in this video, I'm going to share with you guys everything I would do if I was starting my YouTube channel today in 2025. The first thing we're going to talk about is what kind of content do you want to make? Now, if you've watched any video like this, they're going to tell you niche, niche, niche. You've got to find a niche and you've got to stick to it. But I think I would do something a little bit differently if I was starting my YouTube channel today. Finding a niche is creating or tapping into a certain corner of the internet and serving that audience's wants and needs. You guys know trends, you know what does well and what grows really fast here on the internet. And I think we have to be a bit careful with that, because if you are too caught up in the trends, you're not actually making content that people are really invested in and want to see. That's why a niche is important, because people will keep coming back to you if you have an established niche. For my channel, I am a dancer and I love to travel the world. So I try to combine those, but often make videos in either one of those niches so that most of my audience either loves to travel or is also a dancer. Of course, that doesn't cover my entire audience, but those are the main two groups of people that I see as my audience on my channel. I keep seeing it preached to up-and-coming YouTubers that they should stick to one niche, and I don't think that's true, because I think as a person, we are so complex, we have so many layers to us. So create content that is diversified, because people do have different wants and needs. They have different things they like, and every single person in your audience is going to be different, and you don't know what they like or not like unless you try it. My advice is to be niche and flexible. Try out different sorts of content, discover what you like and what does well, and try to stick to those as measurements to where you want your channel to go. YouTube is also very objective, if that's the word, and the algorithm is always pushing forward different kinds of videos. Sometimes videos I think will do really, really well don't do well, and videos I thought no one would look at are videos that did really well. So I say all that to say my next point, which is make content that you enjoy. If you don't enjoy making it, if you wouldn't watch it as a consumer, no one else will. And that's the honest truth of it. I think that also brings you a lot of confidence, because if you're putting out content that you know you're proud of and also that you would click on and watch yourself, then the people that are going to click on and watch it are similar to you. As someone with a business degree, this is something we studied a lot in school, which is finding out who do you want your audience to be? What problem are you solving for them, and how are you going to get them to stay and continuously watch your content? If you want to take your YouTube channel seriously, these are the things you really need to discover about what you want and who you are as a brand before you start putting out content or through putting out content. This is something I'll get onto later on in the video, but consistency is key. So creating a consistent brand is going to have people come back to your channel because they know what to expect. And also having a consistent audience is going to have them want to come back whether you are making that sort of content or trying to veer off to do something else. One of my pieces of advice, which is actually quite basic to start a YouTube channel, is just to have a good profile picture, have a great header, have a color theme so that people coming to your channel know what to expect. There's something about consistency that's very comforting as someone who consumes content. So if you have that brand established for yourself, it's a lot easier for people to subscribe and stay tuned. Also, don't put too much pressure on yourself that you should know all of this before you post your first video. I think it takes a bit of practice of working with the camera, seeing what you like to film, seeing what you enjoy editing. Playing with that will help you direct where you want your channel to go. It's also important to think about what kind of videos you're going to be making. Are they mostly sit-down videos? Are they filmed outside? Are you traveling around and on the go? Are they cinematic pieces? These are very important for the next step I'm going to talk about, which is your equipment. Equipment is very hard to come by as a starting YouTuber, especially if you're not really sure if you're going to pursue this and you're just trying it out. It's not really worth it to spend a couple $1,000s on equipment when you don't know if you're going to be doing it consistently. And to that I say, so many people are making YouTube videos, full productions on their iPhones. it can be done. And honestly, if this is something that you're not sure you're going to actually pursue, I would say hold off on investing a couple $1,000s. But if you want to be serious about this and you do want to make a channel, I think that quality says a lot about a channel. The cameras and editing software and the quality of the production of your videos will say a lot and will have people coming back. I've honestly been making videos since I knew how to turn on a camera. Most of those videos are privated and no one can see them. When I first started wanting to post consistent videos, I didn't know anything about cameras. I still am not an expert, but I kind of know what I like and what I'm looking for in a certain camera. I first saved up to get a Canon G7X Mark II, which is super popular. You've probably heard it before. I feel like it's the standard vlog camera. It also takes great photos. It's the camera that I'm filming on right now. I think it's a great camera to start off with, just because I think it's a staple camera in all senses. If you want to take photos and film videos, I think there's an equal quality in the photos and videos. Through the years, I've grown my collection a little bit, and through using this camera so much, I do have pros and cons about it. So let's start off with the Canon G7X Mark II. There is no jack to add a microphone, which really stops me from grabbing this so many times, because the audio is not the best. The audio is probably just fine right now because there's no background noise and I'm by myself in my room. But as soon as I take this camera outside, and especially like I said, I love to travel, I love to walk around and be with my friends, and there's multiple people talking or there's music in the background, it's impossible to hear. Almost every clip that I film on this camera outdoors or with a few other people, I need to voice isolate it so you can even understand what I'm saying, because it does get a little hard to hear. So it does kind of disturb the crisp and clean edits that I want to make sometimes, just because the audio on this camera is not the best. But again, I will say I've been using it for years. My screen actually fell off and I was thinking about buying a new one. Took it to a camera shop and they just put in a screw, and now it's great as new once again. And especially if you're starting off, the quality of a Canon G7X is amazing. I will say when I bought it a few years ago, I saved up a couple $100s, and now the price has doubled, if not more than that, because it's become so popular. So I definitely think there are cheaper cameras that have good quality out there.
Since filming this video, I've learned that the Sony ZV-E10 is Sony's version of the Canon G7X, and it's only $800 for the entire combo on Amazon right now.
Again, I'm not an expert, so I don't want to recommend anything that I've never tried myself before, but also I've loved my Canon G7X. I'm just going to share with you guys the other cameras that I also switched through. So for the other cameras I have, I've got a GoPro Hero 10. I used to have like a very old one. I think it was the 3. And then last year I was in Europe, I was swimming around, and I really wanted to invest in a GoPro so that I could bring it underwater. Now, this camera I do really only use underwater, and the quality of it is amazing. It also connects to your app so you can see all your footage on the app. Definitely not a purchase you need to make if you're not going to be filming underwater, but if you are, the GoPro Hero 10 and above I think are great. Now this next camera is my baby. I found her this year in Australia on sale, so it felt like it was basically free because it was in Aussie dollars, but no, it was still a few $100s, but it is amazing. It is the Canon V10. Now this thing literally looks like a phone. If you have filming anxiety and you don't want to be filming in public, I feel like this is the perfect solution, because the amount of times I'm out in the streets or something filming on this little thing, and how many times do you see people on their phones or filming something on their phones? If I hold it up next to my phone, it's so tiny. It also has a screen, and there you go, you can see yourself through the screen. It also has a little stand so you can stand it up, and then it just folds right down into this little thing. But something I really like about it is because it's so small, I could just put it on the table and I could order my meal with someone, order my coffee, and they don't even realize it's there. Bringing along a big chunky camera, sometimes people think that's a bit weird, so I feel like this has totally combated that while I'm out in public filming. There are a ton of settings on this thing, so many that I still don't even know, and I'm still learning what I like about it and what settings I like to film in. I sometimes film in the movie IS mode, which I don't think has the most amazing quality, but it's good enough. My favorite mode to use is the smooth skin mode because it gives you a wide fish lens and you can see so much around you. The first time I used this, I had the full smooth feature on and it looked like my face was blurred, but once I turned that down, it looks a little bit more natural, and I just really enjoy the wide lens, and I feel like this has better quality than the normal setting. There are also filters you can play around with on that camera. The one con I will say about it is that the footage is not very stabilized. It comes out very shaky at first, especially in the normal setting, But once I stabilized my footage and I kind of have gotten used to it and know how not to move around the camera while I'm filming, it's gotten a lot better. But I will say that's the one con about this, is the stabilization is not very great, whereas this Canon G7X is a lot better at that. An investment that I'm thinking about making this year is buying the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. I think it's so cool how it's very stabilized, which is something that I'm looking for moving forward with my content. It's also very portable and small, and as someone who travels a lot and likes to take my little camera in my pocket with me, I feel like the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 will help me out in that sort of content. But I just want to mention that because I think that these are all very good starting vlog cameras. Personally, if I was starting a channel tomorrow, I would probably either go with the Canon PowerShot V10 or the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 because they're such portable and great quality cameras for someone starting off, and they're also not crazy expensive. They're not over $1,000, so those are cameras I would probably invest in if I was starting my channel right now. The next thing we're going to talk about is editing softwares. So I started off using iMovie, and I think iMovie works completely great. If you're starting your channel and you want to get used to editing, use iMovie. I think there's so many features on there. But I should mention, if you do want to start off with already leveled up content, then I recommend Final Cut Pro X. Final Cut Pro is a couple $100s, so it's probably something you have to really think about investing in. But with that software, you could do any sort of editing trick you've ever thought of. I asked for it for my birthday a few years ago, so I've had a few years of experience using Final Cut Pro, and I still don't even know all the features on it. I'm constantly learning new things, but I will say I feel like that made all the difference in my content and in my editing, because I'm also someone who loves trying out new editing styles, learning new features, and also playing with transitions and things like that. Whereas iMovie doesn't have a whole lot of freedom to do those things, but I think it's a great starting point if you just want to edit a cohesive video together. The last thing I'm going to talk about is sound. Now, YouTube is very strict on its copyright policy, of course, so it's very important to have music that is copyright free and also goes along with the themes of your videos. The first website I ever used to get copyright free music was Thematic, which I really did enjoy because they do have a good collection of free music, and it was a great way to gather a bunch of free songs that I could kind of rotate through my videos. I even found my intro song on Thematic. I will say, if later on you want to level up your music, I highly recommend Epidemic Sound. I think it's an amazing website. It has such a huge library of copyright free music, and you can also look up any vibe that you want, and there will be plenty of songs in that vibe. For example, I was just in Scotland for Christmas time, looked up Scottish Christmas, and a bunch of songs came up with that sort of vibe. They also have sound effects and things like that, so I highly suggest Epidemic Sound. But if you are just getting started and want to keep the budget low, I would definitely suggest Thematic. Now I want to talk about monetization, because although if you're starting right now, it's not something you have to think about for a while, but many of you may have already started a channel and are already posting videos, so you want to know how you can create a hobby into a monetized income eventually. To join the YouTube Partner Program, you need to have 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers over 12 months, or collect 10 million views on YouTube Shorts in the span of 90 days. Once you hit either one of those, you are able to apply for the YouTube Partner Program, and then once you're accepted, that's when your videos will start getting monetized. It's a super exciting process because as anybody who I think ever has the desire to start a YouTube channel, the ultimate dream is to make a few pennies, if not a few dollars, off videos that you are making just as a hobby. And I'm blessed to say I've been in the YouTube Partner Program for the past year and a half or so, so I do have quite some experience in how to get monetized on your channel and how you can grow from there. Now, I'm not going to talk too much on this because, again, this is a beginner video, but I will say the one tip that you need to stay on is you have to be consistent. I personally know someone who had a few videos go very, very great on YouTube. Then they joined the YouTube Partner Program, started monetizing their income, and then stopped posting and immediately lost monetization, because why is YouTube going to pay you when you're not posting on their platform anymore? That's the whole point, is staying consistent on the YouTube platform. Everyone's journey is completely different with monetization. For most people, it does take many, many months, if not a few years, of consistently posting videos and kind of gathering that niche and what you want to post on your channel before you even get 1,000 subscribers. Like, 1,000 subscribers is a big milestone. That's a lot. You know what I mean? When on different platforms, different followers mean different things. And on YouTube, I feel like subscribers are so hard to come by. Like, having someone press that subscribe button means a lot. Not that they're not doing that on Instagram and TikTok, but I feel like it's harder to come by consistent viewers and watch hours and subscribers on YouTube over other platforms. And that is why, following all the things I said before, it's very important to establish a brand, establish consistency, finding your audience, and also they will find you. They will come to you. If you are posting consistent videos, your audience is going to find you. Which was actually my next point, but I'll talk about it right now, which is consistency is key. You will get nowhere on YouTube and in life if you are not consistent. This is about everything. This is about fitness. This is about school. This is about work. Consistency is everything. And it's also very confidence building when you know that you've stuck to something for so long. You know that you could do anything. Consistency, I believe, is the key to success. No one is going to blow up overnight, and if they do, if they're not consistent, everything they just blew up is going to go away. That's just how the media works. In the day and age that we live in 2025, someone could get 50 million views overnight, and if they stop posting, post irrelevant content, or post very slowly afterwards, the bandwagon's gone. Momentum's gone. Inconsistency kills momentum. Think about going to the gym. If you tell yourself you're going to the gym and then you don't go to the gym for a few weeks, you feel a little less confident in yourself because you know that you haven't been consistent with it. Whereas when you know you're going to the gym the days that you said you're going to go on and you're going very consistently, not even are you seeing progress and seeing your workouts come easier and more natural to you, but you're also feeling more confident in yourself because you held yourself accountable and you were consistent with it. If you take anything away from this video, let it be consistency is key, because that is how, I promise, people are going to find you. If you keep posting, your audience will find you. Your audience will attract. You may have times where your channel is plateauing and no one's joining your channel. You haven't seen any growth of subscribers in months, but honestly, that's where the love for it comes in. If YouTube is your hobby and you enjoy doing it, then it doesn't really matter how many subscribers you have. Like, that's not really the point of creating a YouTube channel. And a reason I wanted to make this video is because I get so many DMs and questions and comments about starting a channel and what I recommend, so I did want to give you all my recommendations. A lot of times someone posts one video and they feel really inspired to post one, maybe two, maybe three, and then they just kind of die off. And then maybe they want to start off in a few months, but then all the momentum you had from those first 3 videos are now gone. You have to start over. The momentum has to kick back up. You also want to create a space that your audience can depend on you. They know you will be posting every week or every 2 weeks or twice a week, whatever you're kind of planning on doing. You want your audience to be able to depend on you. You don't want them to think, oh, she might post this video and then drop out for 2 months. Like, you want them to know that they can consistently come back for more of your content and you're always going to be there, unless you say differently. So all that to say, do not expect YouTube success overnight. That's not how it happens. And even if it does, you might spike up and then you might immediately plateau. I think there's something so special in that because the people who stay, your subscribers who stay, are the people in your community. Those are the people that are supporting you and want to see your content. My advice is not to get discouraged if you don't see growth or don't see growth very quickly, because at the end of the day, you're making this channel for yourself because you enjoy making it. Eventually, you will be doing it as well for the community that you've created by consistently posting videos. Now I want to share a few little things to think about when you're starting creating content. Something that's so important to think about is creating content that you would want to watch, that you would want to click on. If you don't really see people talking about a certain topic and you have something to say about it, go make a video on it. Or if someone makes a video that inspires you about a certain topic, feel free to make another video, obviously not copying them, but inspired by what they said, and either add on to it or creatively change it up. With all of the terrible things that social media has caused leading up to 2025, I would say it's time to take hold of that and use it to your advantage. We are so oversaturated with content right now. Make yours stand out. Be inspired by that content. Make something new. Innovate it. Be inspired. Don't let it overwhelm you to the point where you think everyone is doing it out there and there's no place for you. There's always a place for everyone. We are all so unique. We all have something new to say, and I think it's important, if you want to share that you should. So I hope that motivated you and encouraged you on starting your own channel, because if you have made it to this point in the video, I think you should start a channel. You're definitely thinking about it enough, and why not? It's a new year. It's time to set new goals. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you take something from it. I know this is not like my usual content that I post, and this was very beginner friendly, so if you have any questions, make sure you leave them down in the comments below, and maybe I'll make another video like this in the future. But if you enjoyed, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out if you subscribe to my channel and click that bell so you're notified every time I make a post. Subscribe to the Patreon if you want to see exclusive behind the scenes content, and follow me on Instagram to stay tuned on where I am in the world. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having the most amazing day, and I will see you in the very next video.